Welcome back, nerds. There are some superpowers that everyone just gets wrong. People are just getting the mechanics of them wrong, left, right, and center, and today we are going to talk about how these iconic powers actually work. 10. Spider-Man. You would think that Spider-Man's ability to stick to walls is like the same as a spider's because he got his power from a spider, but that would be wrong. Where spiders have the microscopic hairs or claws that allow them to climb and stick to walls, Spider-Man's ability to control the electrostatic force between molecular boundary layers, because Marvel makes everything difficult for fun now, and also then his hands would have to be out of the suit at all times, and that just doesn't make sense. He can do this all over his body, and that also explains how the mask often stays on when it is put through hell and high water. 9 and 8, Miles Morales and the Invisible Woman. The difference between camouflage and invisibility has less to do with how they present, because the camouflage that Miles has been portrayed as having is so similar to invisibility in the way it looks on screen or on the page that it's easy to assume it is invisibility. But in reading about the Marvel character that does 100% turn invisible, the Invisible Woman, there's an important distinction between the two. Seeing is light bouncing off other objects and back to us in a continuous process, right? Well, if you are truly invisible, no light is hitting you, so therefore you technically shouldn't be able to see. But Sue and Miles still can, and this is where the difference comes in. Miles is camouflaged. His body is not invisible because that transfer of light is still happening. His electricity powers give him the ability to alter the light around himself to blend himself into his background, and he is powerful enough to do this even when in action, but not powerful enough to completely turn himself invisible, because then he would have to do what Sue does. She somehow directs all form of light away from her body, rendering herself invisible, but at the same time is able to direct undistorted light beams directly to her own eyes. It's often said that Sue is operating at a very low capacity with her powers, and that they could even have celestial origins. She's able to cause extinction events by making other people and objects invisible to light and heat. There's a lot of untapped potential there, but yeah, quite literally, all that to say, Miles does not technically turn invisible, but camouflages. 7. Black Widow. This is inspired by something that happened earlier on in this channel. I made a video about the most powerful superheroes without powers, and someone asked where Black Widow was because it appears like she doesn't have superpowers when she's walking the tightrope between what a superpower can be defined as. Many people consider Steve Rogers to have superpowers, right? Thanks to the super soldier serum. Black Widow is technically the same, but she received a copycat super soldier serum made by the Red Room that she grew up in. This is why she is much more capable and stronger than your average human and can keep up with her god and goddess equivalent teammates. But let me know if you count her as having superpowers or not. 6. Galactus. Most people think of Galactus as a horrible entity of doom because he goes around eating planets, and even I can hear what that sounds like, but in reality he's a very important part of the Marvel space ecosystem. During the period of time when Galactus's never-ending hunger was actually satiated, it threw everything out of balance, and the heroes had to figure out how to get his hunger back. He is so important as a concept that every regeneration of the cosmos requires a Galactus. He seems like the villain when it's your planet, but in the context of the whole universe, he's just another cog in the machine. 5. Franklin Richards. Franklin's been through the ringer because his powers are misunderstood by almost everyone in universe and outside of universe. Now we know, and hey, this could change, but Franklin is one of, when operating at full capacity, he is the most powerful person in the Marvel canon. He is destined to be the last person of this current cosmos and transfer into the next one, becoming their Galactus. However, there was a long time where it was thought he was a mutant because he wanted to be one so bad, he accidentally made his DNA present that way. And some of the greatest minds in the world were duped by this. His dad, Mr. Fantastic, Professor X, Krakoa, the Thing. Yeah, now they know what they're actually working with, but it took time to get there. 4. Plastic Man. I would argue Plastic Man is misunderstood as a character because he is often portrayed as like goofy and silly and making funny shapes with his body all the time. But if he locked in, we would all be in serious trouble. He is basically immortal, like plastic, and his body is nearly indestructible. He's kind of untapped potential because there's been times where he's like become a car and then worked as a car, so he can fly if he turns into a plane, which is completely bananas. Comic books are a lawless place, and the silliest characters are often the most dangerous. 3. Hulk. You would think that you've got the Hulk all figured out, considering every piece of popular media about him runs the like Hulk smash, I'm always angry, the Hulk is more powerful the madder he is, and well, that is Technically true, there is more to it. The anger is not actually the catalyst for a transformation. It's the adrenaline felt in these high energy situations, which better explains why the Hulk sometimes doesn't come out even if Bruce Banner is feeling kind of angry or upset about something. It also better explains why the Hulk is hard to control once in the form, because like think about the last time that you were in a situation where your adrenaline was running high and you tried to calm down. It's pretty hard. 2. Superman, specifically his methods of disguise. Superman's glasses to hero secret identity thing is the brunt of many jokes because the average person just doesn't understand how it actually works, which is fair. The average person doesn't spend much time thinking about Clark Kent past the glasses thing, but I do, and that's why I was so happy to have the hypno glasses mentioned in Superman last summer, because that is a canon reason why Superman is not recognized as Clark Kent. The glasses are special and hypnotize people into seeing Clark as thinner and just like generally more pathetic than he actually is. But honestly, even without that, think of all the times that you've seen someone outside the context you usually see them in and then not recognize them. People will sometimes put on a pair of sunglasses and look completely different. But number 1, Cyclops. This is quite possibly the most misunderstood power because what people think his power is way more common. Heat vision as a concept is very known to the general public thanks to characters like Superman. So when people see red beams shooting from the eyes of a superhero, we can't really fault them for thinking it's also some form of heat vision, or maybe even just like laser eyes like a robot might have. But Cyclops has something so different. He has the secret third thing. His mutation is called concussive optic blasts, which at a basic level means exactly what they are, impacting eye beams. The blasts don't burn, they punch because his eyes open to the punch dimension, which is an insane mutation when you think about it. The punch dimension is a dimension of pure, endless concussive force, and Cyclops was able to control his ability at first, but then he fell out of a plane as a kid and the impact of the fall damaged that part of his brain, and that is why he must always wear the red sunglasses to control himself. But what do you think? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye, nerds!